really and truly is that where we are? Um, is today's structures, today's technologies, today's infrastructure is based on the extraterrestrials bringing us here? That's a iffy, sketchy, scratchy, want to aggravate me kind of thing. Yes, it is. And then we're going to talk about O parts, which are out of place artifacts. These are things that they find. Well, thank you. That was real nice of you to interrupt me to tell me that. Uh, I can see what crowd we're going to have tonight. So we've got Pal Talk, we've got whatever's hooked on StreamYard, we've got Messenger. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Out of place artifacts are things like they found a gear or a cog in a yeah, they found it in a piece of coal dating back 5, 6, 7, 8 million years. I think it was actually longer. It was like 22 million or something. And then they found a gear. Well, they found a battery inside a geode. Now, let me explain something because there's two things going on here. In the geode, the battery that was found in the geode, one was fake. Good evening, Miss Heidi. How you doing? Uh, and one was real. So you had a geode where you had a real battery that was 2,000, 3,000 years old, and then you had actually I think it was older than that. To be inside the geode, I think it was like 160, 180,000 years. The thing of it is as we go through this, you're going to see that there's quite a few of these that are just there. It's they're in places they shouldn't be. There's no reason for them to be there. You got to count. You got to stop and go. Okay, what's going on here? Well, they found like little mini computer things, 200,000 years ago. Yeah, well, it looks like at least some of men, were more advanced way further back than we originally realized. What happened? There's always the stories of Atlantis, the stories of other things that could have been aliens came and wiped them out, as far as we know. Um, could have been a great storm. It's hard to say what happened, but it does seem like. Well, let's not forget we got the sunken city off the coast of Cuba on the northern side at 850 feet. Very clean, very clear. Good shots, good pictures out of there, but for some reason, they don't want you looking at them. They got the one inside the harbor in Cuba, which is a little bit deeper. It's inside the northern. Well, it would be facing. It would be facing south. Yeah, it would be facing due south. So well, because it gets confusing when you're looking at it from where we are. So when you look straight at Cuba, you're going to see the northern side of Cuba facing us, and that's where the first one is on the western side. On the northern side, northwest is where it's at. And it's sitting at about 850 feet, and then the other one is actually in the southwest, sitting in I think a little bit deeper water. So there's those two. Then there's one off the coast of Japan. Then there's the two cities that were found off the Indian coast. Both of them quite old, and both of them quite large, with populations over 250,000. By the way, these other cities we were talking about, I think they have cities over 250,000. Now, what's interesting about these cities, the ones in India, they guesstimate, I'm using guesstimate, that they're 15,000 years old, right around the end of the ice age. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe as the ice melted, the cities got inundated. And then the one in Japan definitely looks like it sank, probably through volcanic action. When you look at it, it kind of looks like it may have sank all at one time. The one off the coast, and there's many more than these. I'm just using these five. The one off the coast of Cuba probably was sitting on an ice sheet, and as the ice sheet melted, the damn city just sunk. Well, it could have been something else. I mean, there's lots of other things it could have been, but both of them, because of where they were at, that's about where the ice sheet ended, right about where these two cities are. So it's a good chance that's what happened to them. Well, because if you look at the city where it's actually a little bit off the coast of Cuba. Now, granted, over the thousands of years, the coast could have eroded and made the gap, but it looks more like it was already there. And the city's not all tumbled over on its side or anything. That's another weird thing. It's a sinking city. It just shows you it had to have sank gradually, because if it had sank all at once or something like that, it would have been flipped over and knocked over, and everything seems to be intact, almost like it was built there. That's another city they say is around 10 or 15,000 years old. Oh, So some other people came and said, no, 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 that city's at least 25 to 50,000 years old, at least. And they definitely think it was connected to area roads and area other cities in the area, because they keep finding artifacts all along the Gulf Coast, just stuff washing up. They don't know where it's coming from. So they keep finding this stuff, and then they found Bimini Road, and they found another part out by the Bermuda Triangle. So they think at one time this was all connected, just one big city. Well, James, it's all underwater now. It could have been any damn thing. That's what I'm saying. I mean, one good earthquake could have sunk them all. One good ice sheet melting could have sunk them all. I mean, it could have been two things. It could have been on the ice, and as it sank, it went down, and then of course, when you put ice in it, it raises back up to the level where it was, so it just keeps flooding. And of course, it would have been more ice melting than just the area that the city was on. I don't make this shit up, dude. Yeah. Well, because when you talk about Enoch and all, that's 200,000 years ago, advanced civilization, 200,000 years ago. So it does seem like at one point we were way more advanced than we are today. But by saying that, that's a half truth. And what I mean by that is, it seems like in some ways we were much more advanced then than we are today, but in other ways we were not. So it's kind of like, what the hell? What the hell? That's what it looks like. Uh, well, no, Jax, because you had multiple cities. So let's say like they might have had all electric, everything might have been electric, or something along that way. All their vehicles, everything ran off electricity. Well, all of our stuff runs off of petroleum. It's things like that. There would have been differences in the way they developed their technologies. They may have used other types of ways, like lasers or light, for cutting stone, whereas we use water. My ass, dude. Let me tell you what. With a water cutter, you can cut something to a 16th easy, man. Just clean, pretty, smooth. Well, that's when Jay and I talk about the um, the Egyptians, the pyramids. We talk about that all the time. Jay said, "There's no way them stupid Egyptians could have done that." Yeah, well, I don't know. I wasn't there. I can't say how they did it. There's some ways they could have tried. Well, you could have made pressurized water back then. There's a couple of ways you could have done it too. So by narrowing pipes down with just a little bit of pressure on it, you can actually create a decent amount of pressure on it. But let's say you took some really heavy rocks, maybe 2 tons each, and maybe 10 of them, and you put them in a pool that was just the right size for them when the water could overflow, and capped it. As you lower, that water had to go somewhere. So if you pushed down that water and brought the nozzle down size wise, it could create a good bit of pressure. Now, could it cut stone? Probably. Could it cut the Egyptian stone? I don't know. There's a lot of stone to cut. Yeah, there's a lot of stone to cut. Anybody can try this experiment at home. Just be careful you don't lose a finger or something. Yeah, I'm just saying. Uh, well, pressures. Look, I would have lost 3 toes. We were screwing around one day. Was pressure washing this place, and I was out there messing with the boys, and I was messing with the pressure washer. And I took it as I went by. I had on full pressure on this with this little fine mist that comes out. This damn thing blows mortar out and cuts brick like it's nothing. And I cut it went right across the top of toes. I was wearing steel tips. But wouldn't have been out of the missing 2 or 3 toes. Oh, they cut them right through the leather. You could see the steel. It even cut a little bit into the steel. Yeah, it was bad to the bone. But anyway, you get me off track. So with these things, there were seemed to be technologies that didn't belong, that seemed to be there. Like, okay, you had the Egyptian battery. It was basically copper and grape juice, but it created electricity. They use it for electroplating, gold. That's what they used it for. Now, could that have been used? That same electricity been used to light the pyramids when they were being built? It's a good damn possibility. Well, they knew it was there. They knew it created electricity, and all what it took was that. Yeah, you get 2 coils hot, it would have glown. Yeah, I don't know. And there are pictures in the hieroglyphs of what seem to be light bulbs, big, long, massive light bulbs. Well, in the pictures, they look about, I would say they're 3 feet, maybe 4 feet, and it looks like there's a electric eel in there, which is probably just a coil, just a wire. Yeah, just like any light bulb. Because even on the end, it kind of looks like it's rounded and capped. Now, how are they creating that electricity? I don't know. Maybe with giant vats of grape juice and copper. They were doing something to get electricity. Well, there's a couple of things you know. One, there's not no, there's not any kind of scorch marks on the walls whatsoever. None. So there was no ever anytime whoever was building and working in these places, whether it was Angkor Wat, whether it was the Egyptian pyramids, wherever the hell it was, there was no sign of any type of burning going on. Plus that they were so the walls, the way it was made, if you'd have been burning anything in there, you'd have been burning all your oxygen out. Your guys would have been passing out. The pyramids just weren't designed for that. Oh, hey, Ugly, where you been?
Yeah, I'm suffering from a little bit of kidney pain there. Sorry, a little late here. If I don't know exactly what we're talking about, but it sounds like Dendera. Now, Joe's right. The tunnels are so deep at Dendera, where the picture of the they call it the Dendera light bulb. Once you make a few turns and corners in there, the oxygen levels are so low that even a Bic lighter will not function. There's not enough oxygen. So the argument that they had or they used torches, oil lamps, and the like is impossible because there's no soot on the ceilings, walls, or floors. There's no evidence of broken clay oil lamps in the area or inside the temples. And those things leave distinct marks. There's just no way to getting around it. Whether it's a torch or an oil lamp, it leaves soot. No evidence at any of these places. So how do they light it? It's not reflectors either.
Yeah, so what we were talking about. Actually, sorry, man, I got all crooked here. So the whole thing was, what have extraterrestrials changed their world and what have they done? But what I was doing, because I put O parts in there, artificial out of place artifacts. So to get the kind of thing to all meld together. And that's where we are right now. So we're down somewhere talking about the Egyptians. So I was just walking them through some of the found cities recently found, something that suggests that we're older species than we look. And then some of the other stuff that suggested that we're even older species that we are, because we found cogs and sprockets and shit inside a coal.
Well, yeah, okay. So there's a Ukraine mine, I believe, which has a metal gear that they found, a fossilized metal gear. But they also just recently announced somewhere up in the Adirondacks region, upper state New York area, they found an 11,000-year-old village, and not a temporary village, not a honey village, but an actual town in America, which really it's going to change the timeline. The fact of the matter is that there's talking in the Bible of a civilization that was here before us. Was it us? Maybe it was. I don't know. There's some confusion there, but there is a vague reference throughout all literature and all culture that there was some life forms here just before us, and not only before us, but coinciding and coexisting with at the same time.
Yeah, there's a big argument, but then they get all screwy with the mariners, the ones that were crossing the oceans long before anybody else was. So it's part of it sounds like it could be just advance us. Part of it sounds like it could be somebody else, and then it gets screwy because when you get in between, there seems to have been more than one thing going on. It's just weird. So no, Jimmy. No, I'm getting ready to do one right now. So this the Baghdad battery is what we were just talking about. 2,000-year-old battery. It was Egypt. They found it in Iraq. So the thing about it is this battery. So this helps with the no, it helps with the Egyptian light bulb because this was found 2,000 years ago. This was no, this is when we go from BC to AD, dumbass. And man, come on, that's one of the first things they teach you in school.
Yeah.
I mean, really, come on. It's like AC and DC, man. It's one of the first things they teach you, man. Come on. Maybe not today. I can't tell you what they teach today because I meet some goofballs. But anyway, the Baghdad battery, which is, they were using this for electroplating gold. They were using it for a couple of other things. Come to find out, I thought it was just for electroplating gold, but it was for a few other things.
It has multiple applications. I mean, basically, all it is a 9.5 volt. It's basically the same as those square batteries that have the two little terminals on the top. We had back in the 70s. All of our stuff, all of our calculators and toys, all ran on these 9-volt batteries. And the Baghdad batteries generate up to about 9.5 volts, which is more than enough to operate a flashlight.
Yeah, so this one here, so I had heard about the ones running on grape juice and copper, but this one ran on asphalt with iron rods. So this is a whole different type of battery. That's interesting. I didn't even know that.
It's an iron rod, a copper tube, lemon juice or lime juice or orange juice, any kind of or vinegar, whatever kind of acidic juice you can get, and a clay pot, and you put it all together, and it makes energy.
Not this one. This one instead of using the grape juice and all, it used asphalt stoppers.
Asphalt stopper to keep the liquid. Yeah. They're all made the same way. It's an asphalt stopper, clay pot, iron rod, copper tube, and some sort of acidic liquid.
Yeah,
very simple.
No, I think this one's got some shit that pours into it.
It's essentially an equivalent of a
the same thing,
low-power lead-acid battery.
It is. It's what's that, Jimmy? No, this thing's 2,000 years old. But the reason we bring it up is it's not that it's all that big of a deal. I mean, look how we found electricity freaking flying a kite. I mean, give me a break. It's not that big of a deal, but what makes it a big deal is this next one. Okay, this is the Egyptian light bulb. So knowing that the Egyptians had electricity 2,000 years ago makes it even more easy to believe that they had an electric light bulb.
Well, but do we believe they had electricity, or do we believe they had battery power? Because there is a difference. So if they had,
I think it was battery. I was saying this earlier in the show. I said, look, they probably had 500-gallon vats out there. They were just 500-gallon batteries is what they were. Instead of little tiny batteries, they were big batteries. Because the light bulb they show here, let me put it on the screen. It's like 3 people holding this light bulb up. So this damn thing was big. Well, LEDs don't put off much heat, but traditional light bulbs put off a lot of heat, my friend.
Yes.
So if it was cold, you'd be warm.
If the light bulb depicted in Dendera is typical of the Tesla style light bulb, Tesla's light bulb was a refillable light bulb. So when the gas evaporated, you could take it to the shop, turn it in, they give you a fresh, brand new one, and then take your old one, put new stuff in it and new gas, and sell it to the next person.
Well, they've got the one. What is it? The California fire station. It's 100-something years old.
Something like that.
It's a record breaker. Yeah, I hear about it from time to time. So let me see if I can pop this, make it a little bigger. Let's get this out the way. Commercial. Nope, this is as big as it's getting. No, well, that sucks. So I mean, you see, it's definitely got a filament in it. There it is. They make it look like a snake, but it's a filament. And then you got a guy.
It is a picture of a snake, though. And in Egyptian lore, the hieroglyph snake is power.
Well, unless it's an eel of some sort.
Maybe it's an electric eel too. I'm not sure if they were aware of that creature, but the fact of the matter is that in their language, that hieroglyph referred to power. But whether that meant kingly power or administrative power, it still means power, which is also in our vernacular is electricity.
But they miss a lot in this. Well, there's a guy down here standing on the end, but there's a cord coming out of it. When you follow the cord, this looks like a battery cell.
Or a Tesla coil that it connects to. Yes.
It could be a Tesla coil. Yes. Well, probably not a Tesla coil because that would put off residual energy, but you'd get everybody's hair would be standing on their heads.
Well, the way the Egyptian scholars explain this picture or this hieroglyph is that the bulb is the aroma from the lotus flower, which is at the end where the bulb, the cord comes out of the bulb, which they say is the lotus flower, and it's the stem, and then the snake inside. Well, all of those elements together are fantastic, but why would something be holding up the aura?
Yeah, no, this is definitely a light bulb. Ain't no doubt about that. It's a big. Look how big it is. I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, 7 technically. That's a fucking big light.
And they're holding up the glass, or what the Egyptians call the aura, or the essence, or the aroma of the flower coming out of the flower. And how are they holding up the aroma? I mean, it's just the interpretation is.
So when you look at this, though, then you realize this isn't a person. This is just something they built. It's got hands, but it's really not anything else. There's no feet down here. It's got a platform. It's got like, I don't know what kind of head that is. It's so it just seems to be stationary, and then you got these other things that stationary just got something on its head. I guess what
it's a sun disk.
Yeah,
that's the sun disk on its head. But if you
how do you know? How do you know it's not like a pad to keep the damn thing from burning its head or breaking the glass?
It may be protective equipment. Who knows? But the fact of the matter is, if you take a look at this image and compare it to the image of a Tesla style light bulb, they are identical. 100% identical. Now, either Tesla saw this image or was in this room before and made his light bulb based on that, or someone had a light bulb before Tesla came around.
Yes, but see, the problem with this light bulb is I guess it had to be that big because it wasn't filled with anything. There was no argon or anything in it. It was just.
Well, then why does it have a glass around it?
Because of the damn filament.
Maybe.
Yeah, so you don't get burned. They were, I mean, there are bulbs that aren't filled, but I mean, I haven't heard of any in a long time. It's well, no, Jackie, they filled inside of the bulbs with a special gas that makes them burn more even and brighter, and they last longer. Well, what it really truly does is it makes them be able to use a much smaller filament. See, this has actually big, thick filament on it. If you go back and look at some of the early bulbs, like the Benjamin Franklin bulbs and stuff, they have big, thick filaments on it. Edison's bulbs, because they were DC powered, which is what I bet you this is if it's made up of battery.
If it's battery, it's definitely DC. Yeah. It's direct current.
Well, people, we done figured out the Egyptian bulb, and the damn Egyptians ain't figured it out in 5,000 years. In 2,000 years, give me a break, man. Y'all are all fired. Everybody at the Cairo Museum is now fired.
I guarantee you a couple of things. One, Zahi Hawass
baking a cake.
And I guarantee you they have examples, perhaps even working examples of Egyptian light bulbs they found in this temple that they're hiding from people.
I don't know why you'd hide it. It would just be such an ignorant thing to hide.
Well, have you ever spoken to or seen Zahi Hawass talk? He's an ignorant, I can't say the word here, but it starts with F.
This just brings enlightenment to his people and shows how his people were. I mean, come on. Because right now the Egyptians are about in the world. They were a great empire, and now they're just, I don't know what the hell they are. They ain't no great
third
empire
world country at this point.
Close to it. Well, no, Gene, you can see the cord. There's a fucking cord going to it. There's something giving it power. And this looks like a coil right here. Or at least one. There may be more than one, but this definitely looks like a coil. Nothing here looks out of... You see this in today's world. Not batteries this big and shit, because we have all kind of better ways of getting light, but no, we got halogen filled lights, which are extremely bright, and now we got LEDs that are ridiculously bright.
Yeah, some of these LEDs they're putting them on planes now. LEDs, so that's how bright they can get.
The LEDs are when done right, they're low risk of going out, and they last forever, and they're bright as shit. Think about it, people. Your LED's been flashing on whatever that thing is sitting on your table for 10 years and still just flashing away. What do you mean? No, 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 not all bulbs. What the hell are you talking about? Yes. Okay. LEDs mostly are DC, mostly. But they got a lot of AC ones too. But more important, a regular light bulb is not DC. Who the hell told you that? Stick your finger in the socket and find out if it's DC.
Yeah.
I guarantee you gonna know it ain't DC.
Just shoot you across the room.
No, your typical light bulb is AC. That's why it's so bright. I don't know. I'm not gonna hate on you because that's not something you're gonna learn in regular school. No, but anyway, this is just more of showing that there was something more advanced here than us earlier on. The Great Wall of Texas. What is this?
Oh yeah, it's one of those things that was on that
200 to 400,000
Covering
years
America
ago.
show or whatever.
Damn. Well, that's interesting. 2 to 400,000 years ago.
Well, it's actually what it is it's a natural formation that just looks like a built wall.
Man, that looks like damn bricks to me. What you
Yeah, it
talking
does, but
about,
it is. It's not. Scott Walter did a show on it, and he debunked it.
Yeah, he's probably paid to debunk it.
No, he's actually a pretty good archaeologist, to be honest with you.
1.8 billion year old nuclear reactor.
Yes, that's in Africa, I believe, but it's not like the reactors we have. It's a natural formation where uranium was. However, all of the uranium is gone. Someone mined it.
You know, no one ever stops to think that when we build technology in the future, that we may use natural formations. I mean, after all, the Greys do grow their ships and they do grow crystal formations for power. So why wouldn't we eventually? I mean, it seems like something we could do instead of having to have all that steel and lead. You just grow it like that.
Oh hell yeah! It's so much easier. You know, the example in Stargate SG-1 was one of their allies. That was I forget the name of them, but they were the good part of the Goa'uld. They had a crystalline technology that when they went underground, they would throw these crystals and they would build tunnels, and they used that to build their underground complexes when they went from place to place to hide from their enemies.
It's got what's that key? No, well, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. It ran for 500,000 years. Large scale, like this thing be powering New York and stuff.
Yeah, well, like I said, there's a couple of those throughout Africa, and there's several holes in the ground that they think were once filled with gold or lead or antimony. But there are several mines or mined out holes in Africa. Some were uranium, and some were other precious metals, gold, silver, and like I said, antimony, perhaps manganese or magnesium. But the fact is that somebody was down there before we were capable of making such tools and dug all that stuff out.
Yeah, well, the uranium it says has been extracted, but it's curious the way they worded in operation for 500,000 years. So they're thinking this could have maybe it wasn't natural, maybe it just was made to look like a natural formation.
Perhaps, yeah. Who knows?
Well, just it might not even be made to look like it may have been a power plant for a city at one time. We don't know how aliens do their power. You remember, we're the ones that have to build the big power plants with the lead plates and all that crap all around everything. Yeah. We don't know what our alien race a billion years old could do, or even 100 million years old could do.
We can't even imagine the actual technology they're in possession of. I mean, we try, but
well, think about it. Think about us. We're traveling. We don't want to carry a bunch of materials. We get to a planet, so we find uranium and a couple of materials, and we make a reactor in the ground.
Yeah,
a natural current, and it just runs.
If you need an actual fuel source to put into your engines, yeah, and I think that's exactly what we see here with this ancient mine or ancient uranium reactor, if you will, natural reactor. Absolutely. I mean, we've heard when we've talked about it on the show that there are several alien species that kind of use this solar system as a waypoint between the two arms we're in between. So when they're traveling between the Orion and the Sagittarian arm, they stop here to rest and refuel, and then move on to their next destination. So it seems logical that they have several of these type of natural fuel centers, natural reactor centers throughout solar systems across this galaxy.
Could be too. They might know they're there. I mean, I'm sure they could scan for 'em.
If they don't have I mean, if the reactors they're using or the energies they're using need to actually have a physical fuel poured into it like we do, then yeah, then they must have some sort of infrastructure like that. There's you can't there's no way they're getting across the galaxy without having strategically mapped out resources.
Okay, this is the Perry Reese map here, huh?
Yeah,
So this was before there was ice in the Arctic.
yeah.
Yes, people. Wait, what kills me is the type of ships they show you on the map, and well, we don't know it. Well, according to our scientists, there's been ice in the Arctic for a very, very long
1,000
time.
years. Yeah.
A very, very, very long time. Yes, well, there was the ice age, and it never did.
It's still covered in ice. I mean, they're still experiencing an ice age. But I mean, the Perry Reese map shows clearly the coastline of and certain features on Antarctica, which have been properly identified. The map is accurate. It shows rivers and mountains at about where they are in actuality on the actual continent in real life.
It's just showing Brazil and Antarctica. There's the Antarctic coast right there. It's I don't know, Pete. It's one of those things. It's out of place artifact. 2,000-year-old earthquake detector.
Oh yeah.
Man, I went this thing working. Now look, thing, pot, whatever you are, you can't go off after the earthquake starts shaking. Okay, it's got to be before. Yeah, things must have to happen before. I wonder if this guy got his head cut off if this thing actually worked. Well, Jesse, back in the day, you can't go around making claims like this.
Yeah, not to the Chinese emperor. You lose your head. Yeah.
No, not a good idea. 150,000-year-old pipes.
Oh yeah, these are in China also.
What the hell was going on there? And see, these out-of-place artifacts are all over the planet. They're not just in like one country or something.
No, they're everywhere.
Which suggests, and these sunken cities are all over. So it suggests that these advanced civilizations were spread out across the planet. Well, we don't know what they were getting out of it. What I guess they were moving water around.
Yeah, they could have been for water, could have been sewage, could have been electrical, could have been maybe oil. I mean, maybe they were drilling oil out of the ground. Who knows?
I said it was leading to a nearby lake about 150,000 years ago.
Well, so that sounds like kind of what we do when we draw oil out of the ground. We backfill it with water or some other kind of thing, so that we don't have a sinkhole or a collapse in the surface.
Now we use a chemical that helps leach out the left behind oil and stuff. Yes, because wells aren't actually dry when they say wells are. So
yeah, oil is a very sticky, gloopy substance.
Especially they've had the other issues in Texas lately, where old wells have begun to have are halfway full again, and they're like, well, because oil is supposed to be finite. Some people think it's everybody says, oh, it's made from the dinosaurs, but a lot of people think it's naturally made from the lubrication for the earth, so it can slide across that helps the tectonics to slide. Jimmy, how do I know?
Maybe.
It sounds interesting, but I couldn't tell. You don't even ask me that question, man. Look, I'd be like, what? No. No, because you have to listen to everybody. Well, magma is what supposedly slides us. Yeah, we're riding on a plate of magma. Well,
And the magnetism of our core could also add to some of that, differently charged plates positive and negatives fighting against each other. Antikythera mechanism.
How old is this thing? 2,000 years old? Or this is
Something
when they
like that.
found it?
Yep. I found it at, I think, the turn of the, first century AD, somewhere around there. A navigation computer.
They were just making stuff back in the day, people. We all got lazy in today's day.
Mm-hmm.
Drill bit and coal. These are always fun, these. I don't see no picture of it, though.
There's no picture.
But there's been a lot of this reported drill bits and gears and all kind of metal pieces found intact inside of coal. And coal just doesn't exactly form overnight.
No, it takes millions of years.
Well, people, what Jesse? Okay, it could be this. Could have been a spaceship got blown up, and bits and pieces of it was just either melted or fell into the. And then as everything gelled and cooled in the cold form, it could have been like that. Maybe. I don't know. I can't even give you other theory other than there was somebody else living on the planet 20 million years ago. And according to the Pravda map, that's what they say. Well, they said they were here 120 million years ago. And you can find pieces of coal that old. So I don't know, dude. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that suggests there was somebody here before us. And it doesn't sound like they were humans. Not human in the way we're human. How's that?
Humanoid, perhaps, but not necessarily Homo sapiens. But the evidence it's also microscopic. I mean, the next one down there is the spheres. They found some. Almost, I guess it's like nanotechnology, but little spirally pieces of metal that are microscopic that they found, I think, somewhere in Russia, and they've talked about it on the Ancient Alien show. Some things just don't line up, and the fact is that there's weird advanced technology that's appears to be fossilized, for lack of a better term.
This thing was found encapsulated in 22 inches of coal thick, buried in a bed of clay mixed with board about 7 feet. No, it does say boulders. 7 feet
boulders.
thick. I need to, I need to move this fucking screen where I can actually see it better. Jack, 22 inch piece of coal. That's, I don't know, 25 million, 35 million years old. That's a long time. Somebody's up on the hill working. Son of a bitch, and humans in 35 million years are going to find this damn thing. I'm going to get fired.
Yeah.
I don't know. Here you go. 2.8 billion year old spheres. What the fuck are these? Oh, beep, 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 beep.
They're like BBs or something. Ball bearings of some kind.
I'll have to go. What the hell are these things?
They're pretty neat. There's also another set of metal spheres that look like 20-sided dice found in Rome.
Also found in South Africa. Maybe this is why they think life came from Africa. A lot of this stuff is found in South Africa.
There are a lot of out of Africa theories, but they're not all correct.
No, see, that's what I'm saying. This thing probably started breaking up north and over Russia, and the pieces just fell all the way down to there. Probably toolbox broke in Africa somewhere. That's why we get all this weird stuff. Well, these look like these would have been used for something.
Yeah, like they're ball bearings.
Yeah. I mean, it could just be an artifact, dude, but I mean, yeah, it's like some little ball or something, but they look like they might have been used.
The thing is that this is not nature, and a natural sphere wouldn't have 3 lines going across the equator of it, so they're definitely manufactured.
The globe of it. They keep coughing tonight for some reason. Excuse me. Where the hell that came from? Even by steel. It can't even be scratched by steel. Wow.
Yeah, I was just reading that.
That's pretty cool. I don't know, Jack. 2.8 billion years. There wasn't supposed to be no life on the planet back then. Nothing. Even the amoebas weren't supposed to be around. No, you're right. Just recently they upgraded and said they were going to push life further back to
But
about
not 2.8 billion. Yeah.
I think they were going for like 1.5 billion if they were going that far. But well, most people think life started about a billion years ago. And then you've had like 200 million year in increments. Well, there's been 5 great extinctions.
Yeah.
That's 200 million years apiece.
And
And I've
seven
said this.
DNA
Yeah.
experiments on us.
Well, I've said this before. People forget that we're traveling through space. So no people all the time. So our solar system, our planet is orbiting our sun. Our sun is orbiting through our galaxy, and as it orbits through our galaxy, it's moving up and down. It's not. It's not just. It's an expanded orbit. It's kind of elliptical, and
And
it's
the
also
galaxy is moving too on top of
and
all
the
of it.
galaxy's moving too. And then we're also going up and down. So there's lots of dangers in this galaxy. There's all kind of pulsars and all kind of stars that are supernova and stuff, and places of high radiation content, nebulas and things like that. So every 200 million years, we may pass through one of them. It might be why it's so. We die every so often. We have an extinction.
They seem to be at regular intervals.
So maybe we need to work on that and stop worrying about all this other shit and figure out what's going on.
To stop looking down at the ground and start looking out at the sky and see
Yeah.
what we're heading towards. Maybe we're heading towards a region of the galaxy or the universe where there's that our galaxy passes through a belt of radiation that causes a regular interval in extinction on this planet. We don't know. We don't have that much
There's
vision.
something. I mean, I'm not. I'm not going to say that's what it is about 100%, but it's awful odd when you get right down to it. I mean, you're kind of like, It doesn't really make sense. Sometimes it doesn't. I mean, every 200 million years, 250 million years, we go extinct. There's been 5 of them. There's only a billion years of life on the planet. I don't know. It sounds fairly regular. It just happens to be where we are, I guess. We don't know because we can't see that far ahead yet.
And we don't have the technology of Star Trek. We can't see millions of light years ahead of us. And with what technology we do have that can look that far ahead, it takes that, like the Jack Webb telescopes and all this. It takes them time to focus in on those deep scans. It takes hours or even maybe days or weeks for them to get those images.
Actually, Frank, we're getting ready to go to break. Yeah. Oh no, because you're not going to hear any until I got to go hunt down all of the break stuff. Seeing Michelle put some of the other stuff back. We don't know what happened, but anyway, we're not going to get into because that aggravates me thinking about it. But all of the stuff dealing with our breaks and all that, all when it just disappeared. The aliens, I guess, got upset or something. I don't know.
StreamYard got probed.
No, we're gonna come back and talk about some more of this, and we're gonna try to get back. If we don't finish up with why they're here, we'll do it next week. But no, we got to take a break, man. Yes, unless you want to pay me for the break, it's $2,500. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, I'll make Jay get in a poll for $2,500 for you.
Hell yeah!
I didn't say naked now. It's still that's Sean's job. No, John should be ashamed.
Yeah, Sean's the brave one.
Yeah, what's wrong? Wrong button. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. I know. I'm just ashamed of yourselves. Why? Because y'all should be ashamed. Now I gotta go take this out of here. That means I have to come back and find it when we come back. Get out. Ouch, get out of there. I don't know what happened. I wish I did know what happened. I can't even scream at anybody because I don't know what the hell happened. It just what was it, Friday, Jay? We noticed everything was gone.
Yeah,
it was like
Friday. Well, I don't remember. I don't think I don't remember about Wednesday, but yeah, it was Friday. Everything was all different.
Yeah, because Wednesday we were off, so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, so it had to be Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a sad thing. Yeah, it made me want to cry and stuff. Yes, it did. Anyway, we're gonna go take a break, and we'll be back in about 4 or 5 minutes. So until then, go out, get a cup of coffee, get something to drink, enjoy your life. I can't tell you to smoke marijuana. You have to do that on your own. I'm sorry. I just, we're not allowed to tell you those kind of things. What do you mean? I don't make the rule? You make the rule. Not those kind of rules. I don't make. No, the Fed makes those kind of rules. Yes. Yeah, they do. No, if we were just a podcast, we could do that. Unfortunately, we're not just a podcast. We also do TV and radio. Yeah, so we there are some rules even we have to behave to.
Yep.
It's a bitch, ain't it? Anyway, we'll be right back. Oh, hello. What
You
the
weren't
fuck?
back, so I threw up with what I could.
What the hell? Get out of there.
Yeah, that was the video music. It was playing an advertisement, an advert.
Hello. Buy our shit, whatever it may be today. Yes, we got a lot to sell. I don't know what it is. Yes. Anyway, no, I'll put it back up and think. You know, look, don't make me get mean. I already screwed up and said an F word once tonight. I never said an F word in this show for like 30 years, man.
And he slipped a few times.
But recently, because that stupid news show we do, I'm gonna have to ban curse on that damn thing.
It's all Sean's fault. That filthy sailor's mouth of his.
Yes, that's his. It's his fault. We're blaming him. He's probably hanging out with the other two Sean's, making it even worse. What do you mean? You mean like an oracle? Why? What do you want to know? I would tell you stuff that would make you cry. You don't want to know the truth. The truth will set you free. I know what they say.
They do say that. It's not always true, though.
Yeah,
a lot of times it puts you in jail.
I see. You don't like that idea either, do you? No, hold on. I'll put it back on the screen now. I'm just effing with you. If I can find it. There we are.
Iran Pillar of Delhi.
Yeah, let's see. Now, what the hell is this? This doesn't look like anything to me.
It's well, okay. It doesn't oxidize.
Oh, okay. Oh, I guess because it's iron. Yeah, I guess it should be oxidizing.
Yeah, it should.
Maybe it's on a freaking desert.
Turning brown and falling apart, but it won't rust.
Damn, it's 99.72% iron.
Yeah,
that's pretty pure for
almost 100%.
Yeah. Somebody was on crack when
that were cocaine, it would kill you.
I know, huh?
Oh, the Viking sword Uthbert.
That sword looks like somebody needs to put it on a grinder, man.
Well, that sword is 2,000 years old for one thing. It's Damascus steel for another thing, and for a third thing, we cannot replicate the hardness of that specific blade. It is extremely hard. Yes, it's mangled, but I mean, it was buried in the dirt for 2,000 years.
I said, let's put on grind and see what we get.
Yep.
No, Damascus seals. I got 2 swords in the house. Fucking expensive, dude. It's not cheap. It used to be back in the day. You could get a good sword for around $700. Now they want way more than that.
Oh,
Yeah.
go to Dark Sword Armory. You can get they have really good swords for around that same price, $700-800, and then they have ones for 1,000 and whatnot. But they're nice looking. They reproduce Lord of the Rings looking stuff too, which are really nice looking, but practical. They're not the collectors. The collector swords, for some reason in this country, if you weren't to buy like Gandalf's sword, the collector sword, they cannot sharpen it at the factory, nor can the people who sell it to you sharpen it. So they come dull.
Oh, well, that sucks. Well, a lot of them
Yeah.
come with cheap hilts on them anyway, so it's probably good at stuff. Oh, you see, okay, Christopher. First rule when I buy a sword, I actually examine the hilt first because
Make
I
sure it
need to
isn't
know.
cast.
Yes, and I need to know that that it goes that sword that. No, I need to know that it goes all the way through.
Yeah, full tang, not a rat tail.
Yeah. So what a lot of people do is they make a sword and like Jay just said, put a rat tail on it, so they just burn it into the thing and click it on it, and they're great, they're pretty. But man, when the zombie apocalypse comes,
Yeah, 2-3 hits and that handle's going to come apart.
yeah, so you'll be making your own hammer for the damn thing. You know, all of mine are full. Well, then I got a couple that are weird. They were 440 surgical steel. I'm not even sure how I got them or where I got them. They're dragon hilts, but I don't know where I got them from. And they're what's his name? Duncan McLeod or Clan McLeod.
Yeah, Highlander.
Yeah, so they're that type of sword, but they're not that type of hilt. I didn't like the big white dragon on it. If it would have been like real, well, if it would have been real ivory, I'd have got the damn thing. Yeah. I probably had this paw in my kid or something, but still, it's no, but these were 440 surgical. I never owned a sword. Usually swords are different types of steel, but not 440 stainless. That's something you
Well, or
see.
not surgical. I mean, surgical it holds a nice edge, but I don't know that it would hold up in combat.
They don't. That's a problem. It's So when I got it, I went and checked with the guy. I said, "It's 440." He says, "I said it's surgical." He said, "Flip it and see if there's an S." And sure enough, there was a fucking S. So they're great. And look, I could sharpen it the way I want. Take your head off. As long as I'm chopping your head off and shit like that, it won't dull. But if the first time it hits something hard like another sword, it's gonna dink. And after a few times,
bend, just wrap around it.
It's no. You know it's solid through the part. That's not gonna bend. The only place it does damage is in the blade tips itself.
Yeah.
The rest of the damn thing is seriously hard.
But what also a lot of people make mistakes when they do sword fighting is you don't block, okay, unless it's a double-edged sword. But you usually block with the flat of the blade, not the edge. So when you're blocking, you hit that way, so you don't hurt your blade.
Well, good, a sharp blade. Well, it's Damascus, John. Yeah, you wouldn't spend $10,000 on one. Yeah, something folded 2,000 times, and even if it's hit right, it's going to still dink.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I have them for the exact. You think I'm playing with you? I got all them swords in the other room, all 12 of them for the zombie apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
all
I got all sizes. Right, yeah, 1,000,000-year-old hammer, son of a bitch, man.
Oh, that's the one that's in the rock. Yeah, there's no picture though.
I don't know why some of them have pictures, some don't.
But it looks like a roofing hammer, like a shingling hammer, or a tack hammer, that kind of small metal hammer blade, and it's what, 1,000,000 years old?
So it's 100 million, not a million.
100 million years old. The wood handle is 100 million years old. Think about that.
I don't know, people. That's a little bit out there.
That's really shaking the tree.
See, this isn't as unfamiliar as people think here. Prehistoric work sites. There actually are several of these around the world. Johnny, we're supposed to be there. Humans ain't supposed to be but a couple million years old.
Mm-hmm.
We just fell out the tree in Africa. Well, that's funny because there ain't no trees in Africa. But anyway,
they have some.
Yeah, not enough for humans to be falling out. Besides, a draft might eat your ass anyway.
Yeah.
Dude, 100 million old is serious. I mean, that's
way back. Yeah.
that's dinosaur era stuff. And that's not the only thing that the private map's 120 million years old. There's a bunch of other stuff you'll find that's 80 million, 100 million years old. There seems to be a lot of activity around that 100 million year mark. There might have been a society on the planet that lived 20 or 30 million years around that. And maybe they came to study the dinosaurs. Maybe they're descendants of the dinosaurs.
Maybe they were the dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's right. They always did show what the raptors would look like if they grew up and evolved, and they looked just like freaking little grays.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy, man. It is. 3 million year old bridge. Wow, that's interesting. What kind of bridge are we talking about? Dirt?
Well, it looks like it's between India and Sri Lanka.
I think they need to get back and do some repair in this damn bridge.
Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of a gap.
What's that? Don says it's because the water has risen so much. Hey, I'll go with that. That works.
Yeah, probably.
You can still fix it. Sri Lanka. Isn't that where Arthur C. Clarke went to kick over?
I don't know. Oh, yeah, the spark plug.
500,000-year-old spark plug. See, these are the kind of things that make you think there's some kind of random time travel on our planet. It just fell into something and was dropped off somewhere in the past.
Yeah.
Which means that would suck for humans if that happened. Well, no, 500,000 years doesn't put you in a dinosaur era, but it does put you in the mammoth and saber tooth and whatever human type things were running around on the planet back then.
Yeah, the near the current epoch anyway.
Of course, if you had pistols on you and big lighters, you'd be like a god. They'd worship you.
Well, there is also, speaking of Uparts, there is a it's not a God, what's that old? It's extinct now. It's like a deer, but it's the skull of this creature, this extinct creature, has a bullet hole right in the center of its forehead.
Yeah, there's a bunch of other stuff. I'm surprised they left some of the good stuff out, but hey, to each their own. Oh no, there's other stuff.
Did they do the battery inside the rock? There's one of mine. That's my favorite one. Is the copper? It looks like a copper, copper top battery inside of a rock, like a geode, and they cut it in half and they open it up, and there's the actual like.
Oh yes, I started with that because you got to be careful with that one. There's a real one and a fake one.
Yeah.
So no, there's a real one and a fake one, Johnny. Yeah, there's one that's real and there's one that's fake. Well, somebody, I guess, wanted to make some money off the first one that was found and said they had one, but that one was found to be fake. But the real one is still real. It was still in a geode, several 100,000 years old, actually several million years old. It was a battery. What the hell was it doing there? Technically, the first time I ever heard the story, said it was in a device inside of a battery.
I never heard that, but I mean, there's several good pictures. There's a picture of the rock before they cut it, and it looks like a C cell or a D cell battery inside of the center of a rock, and then they cut it in half and open it up, and then inside is like the internal workings of a modern day copper top or Energizer C or D type battery.
Yeah, I wonder how that got there.
Yeah.
God, you're walking through the thing. You're on your. That's sad that in a million years, people we're going to be out there. 100 million years, we're going to be out there. We're going to be
still using C and D cell batteries.
Yeah, we're going to be time traveling. Man, did you drop that battery? Yes. We don't hardly use them today. We charge everything, people. Think about it. Think about this. So this battery would have probably been lost in a generation prior to ours. Because today most everything's run on what? Chargeable batteries. Even my camera, where's it at? This one right here, which is battery powered. It does have a battery in it. It has a little rectangular battery that pops out of it. But I just put it on a charge and it charges up. And away it goes. It was 120 megapixels on that size camera. That's insane. In the old days, they had lenses like this.
Mm-hmm.
Prehistoric wall near. No, we'll get out of here. Oh wait, this could be Bimini, couldn't it?
It is.
So you've got all of this, and you got other stuff besides this, people. But in the end, none of this comes from our time periods, and none of this has anything to do with us. But yet, it's here on our planet, in places it shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
It just should not be in the places we're finding it at. No, Ronnie. I mean, in the end, they're not supposed to be there.
Well, if and only if we believe the current narrative of our history. If we're questioning our current knowledge of history, then these things present a problem because they are outside regular explanation.
No, let me see. I might be able to find that. Yeah, see,
There's the hammer.
Yeah, there's a hammer right there.
Yeah, it seems like a roofing hammer or a tack hammer.
No, you know what that is?
Or a mining hammer.
It could be a mining hammer. You know what I really think it is?
Huh.
It's a
horseshoe?
No, the ones that nail down the when you're going on a train track. That's what it looks like.
Tack hammer. Yeah, tack hammer.
They nail down them big freaking
the spikes. Yeah.
Well, in the old days, that's what nails kind of look like, guys. Yeah, no, they didn't look like nails today. No. You go ever work in an old house, you start seeing nails, they look like little triangles. Long triangles. It's kind of funny looking. How they expect them things to hold together was beyond me. So here's this thing right here. 100 million years ago. First off, I'm amazed it's in that good a shape. And the iron looks like you could just polish it up.
It's probably as pure as that column. 99 plus.
Probably is. Well, that's the thing. How did it get there? Then it had to be liquid or slag when it got there for it to make the impression.
It's embedded in that rock. I mean, look at it.
Yeah, or the rock formed around it. Yeah. It's there. It's been around long time. It's been around longer than humans have been around. How you figure that out? How does a hammer? It's in. That shit don't make any sense. There's another shot of it. This hammer is older than our species.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I am Darth Vader's grandson.
That's Princess Leia.
Yeah, it looks like a guy. Leia. What can I say? That's not nice. There you go. There's a cell
phone with the uniform writing.
Now these are all things they found.
Yeah,
we're just scanning through them for y'all to see them.
I don't know what that one is.
It's a cassette tape.
Oh, I see it now. Wow.
Well, that kind of plastic probably never disintegrated, guys. What is this?
It's a screw.
Yeah, and here I don't know what the rest of it is. Because these things are not supposed to exist, Johnny Ray. Nobody.
That's right. They're called parts, out of place parts. Oh, that's from China, isn't it?
I don't know. It looks like some kind of fan or something, like a fan blade or some sort.
Yeah, it's. I think. Well, it might be Egypt. It might be from Egypt. That one. Oh, there's the boat anchor. It looks more like a tooth from a bulldozer bucket.
That's this nasty phone again. 36912.
Rubik's Cube? Wow.
There's back to that thing. There's this thing again.
Theory again.
But there's a bunch of them. There's some of these we've already looked at. But okay, so there's a little screw in there.
Yeah, it doesn't belong there.
Anytime you find something in the middle of a rock, you're kind of like, what? Wait, what? How did it get in there?
Yeah.
Well,
Ooh, look
because
at that.
you have to ask because you don't know how he got in there, and it's not supposed to be in there. But anyway,
Well, yeah, no,
moving
I
on.
mean, for the rock to get around it, it would take millions of years for the rock to form around it.
Okay, helicopter.
Yep, there's Luke's land speeder right next to it.
Yeah, there's a flying bug from whatever movie that was.
Mm-hmm.
You just get on a fly with him.
It's Mothra.
Oh wait, no, wait, what is that stupid movie? Lex, that's what it is.
Yeah, in the TV show.
Yeah, it's it's a TV show. And then whatever this speeder thingy is.
Yeah,
I
that's
am
the
Luke
umbrella.
Skywalker. I will cut you up, bastard. No, that's the one up there that says Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, that's Luke's land speeder up there. One of those has a submarine in it. It's not this particular one, but I think that's out of Dendera. Also, those images.
And then this is, I guess, something.
Some sort of supersonic plane.
Something along those lines. Well, but Jack, all these look like some kind of flying vehicle, but I couldn't tell you what.
Or a floating vehicle, or an
Well,
underwater vehicle, except for the helicopter, of course. I mean, the thing up top that I call Luke's land speeder kind of looks like a modern day cabin cruiser.
It could be. It's just so round that it makes you see. You know what's funny about this top design right here would have been just something you would have seen designed in the 50s.
Yeah,
And
it's exactly
actually,
Art Deco.
this honestly, this would have been something you seen designed in the 50s. That's when those new helicopters. What do they call them? The ones with the big wide gap and the two props on them.
Chinooks.
No, is that what they're? Because they got
Chinooks.
They don't have nothing in the middle of them. I thought they should.
Yeah, it's a cargo. It's cargo. It's or Sikorsky's.
So you know those kind of look like that. This looks like something you'd see at a different time period. So does this. We don't know, Jack. We don't even know what it is.
That is an interesting rock right there. I think it is andesite, and there's the cycle of life on one side and the cycle of a frog's life on the other.
Okay, that sounds fun.
But on one side, like I said, it's like it shows human reproduction from the microscopic viewpoint. It's really, really weird.
How old is this thing?
It's old, but it's andesite, so they can't really age it.
Okay,
is that a carrot?
I don't know what that is. It's got a penny next to it, though. No, that some kind of copper.
Some sort of a fulsome point.
Oh, it's a copper stake or something. Copper chisel, maybe.
Or arrow point or spear point.
Could be.
Although copper is very soft, it wouldn't hold an edge for long.
You know, Jack, I did read that, but I'm not putting much stock into that. There was a new thing came out about the pyramids the other day, saying that they had found they were using they had a meteor they found, and that's what they were using to cut the stones with.
What do they use? What do they use to cut the meteorite with?
I have to. It was probably
another bullshit story.
No, it was probably broken to pieces, just sharpened. That I could see that happening, but I can't. The meteor. Somebody would have said something about, oh, we found this new. They would have had some kind of name for it or some kind of something for it. It doesn't show up anywhere. Oh no, wait, Jenny. Okay, let me rephrase something. And there has been meteor steel used to make weapons before. Okay,
magic weapons,
just not in this case. No, there was one made for a king. I can't remember who he was, and there was one made for some people in another army. There's a couple stories about it out there. Most everybody said it was this weird blue iron-looking stuff that didn't dink when the blades collided. It didn't dull. There are steels on the planet that you can use that won't dull. Yeah, even when sharpened. And there are several asteroids that have been found over years that they have found that people had been taken. In most cases, I think what they took is debris, because most of these whatever these asteroids were made out of, these meteors were made out of, doesn't sound like you could cut it easily.
No, absolutely not.
The
the Bronze Age is called the Bronze Age because that's the hardest material that we were able to work with. On the Mohs scale of hardness, mineral hardness, bronze comes in, I think, even if you harden it into a sword or a shield, maybe like 4, hardness of 4. Your teeth and your fingernails and glass, like the glass in the windows of your house, is hardness 5. Steel is hardness 6.5. When you harden it, it goes to 7.5. And if you get high tensile steel, like what's in handcuffs, that's not even the hardest thing that we can make. And then all the way up to 10 is diamond. So on the scale of hardness, bronze is really soft. I mean, you can basically take your fingernail and make a scratch mark on it.
That would look like something was screwed in at one time or another.
Oh yeah.
Now this stuff is old. Yeah, it's ancient stuff. This phone keeps coming back up.
Yeah, and this is a Nokia model, by the way.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, with cuneiform numbers and dials and system, whatever those are, numbers, letters, etc.
Well, Jack Ruby's time travels may have specially made this phone.
Yeah, but who the hell are they calling back in 5,000 year?
Other people doing what they're doing. As far as we know, this could have. Look how many parts we fucking found. Ooh, beep, 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 beep. Damn it. I mean, look at the amount of parts we found. That suggests that there was way more than one person out here.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
the missions weren't all that safe either.
There's an Upart photograph of some dude in like 1930s downtown New York holding a cell phone, like talking on a cell phone, walking through the crowd. It's weird.
Yeah, they probably just thought it was a radio back then.
I wonder what an AI kind of thing that is. I guess that's Antikythera, their take on it.
This thing again.
Copper spearhead. It's pretty soft.
Let's see. He's got all kinds of stuff in here.
What's he got? I really can't make it out.
And it's hard to tell from here, but he's got all kinds of stuff in there.
God in a Nutshell project, it says.
He's probably got quite a few O parts there. Yeah, there's a hammer right there. So all this stuff is O parts. Artificial.
Oh, look at that. Ivory box with a gray alien on top.
Hey, come for you asshole. No, Jimmy, it fits inside the box, yeah. I don't know. This piece here, this piece here may actually flip over, and this piece may fit on top of it.
Yeah.
Well, at first I was looking at it, but I don't think this piece will go in there because there's edge. And the way this stuff is here and the way this stuff is here matches if it's flipped over. Yeah, so this probably flipped over, and there's probably a little bevel on the back of that this piece fits into. It's some kind of little puzzle box. I don't know. Somebody needs to get in there and clean that bitch. I can tell you that.
Some dirty ivory. What is that? An astronaut.
Where did our thing go? Okay, we don't care about any of this. This is over here, okay. I don't know what is it, like woo cows? What the hell we got going on here?
I think it's the central figure. It looks like an astronaut kind of figure.
Well, this one, yeah, look at this over here. There's this thing again.
Antikythera again.
I feel for this guy. He's like crammed in there.
Well, that's an artist's depiction of the thing above it.
Ah, shit. Maybe see if it was a little 3-foot gray, it would be all like crowded in there.
Right.
I don't know, Jack. Some of this stuff looks crazy. Well, here's another artifact over here. There's so much of this throughout our history.
There it is.
Who
knows what that thing is?
And hook up a little electricity to it, might do any damn thing. But that's the other thing, Michael. We don't know. There's a lot of stuff we found over the years. If we hooked up power to it, we don't know how it would act. Yeah, we don't know what that is. It looks like a game, but you don't know what that is. I guess if you read Hogwash, you might know.
Looks like that game Mandala where you have the little rocks. You have to move the rocks and pair them up, match them up.
See, there's that little stinky thing again.
Yep.
Maybe that goes in them holes we just seen. Don't look like it, but it might. Come on with the commercials. Get back over here on there. Let's see, there's our skull. That's what we talk about this skull all the time.
And that rock depicts humans and dinosaurs interacting.
Yes. Okay, Jackson, that's the human alien skull. We talk about this skull all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the human aliens, just what they look like.
That is an Anunnaki head.
That's the human aliens look just like that. They even have hair on it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
They're built like us. They're just way bigger than us.
9, 10, 12 feet tall.
I
Six fingers.
I don't think they're all 6 fingers, 6 fingers, 6 toes. I think they're more around 7 or 8 foot. But
some have been documented up as high as 10, 12. But they also allegedly have 2 rows of teeth.
Well, this guy don't. He's only got one.
You don't know he have one. He looks like he's need dentures.
I can see 1 tooth on the bottom and 3 teeth on the top.
Precisely, like I said, the man needs some dentures.
He does.
Needs some dental work over there.
There's one right here, and 1, 2 right here. And that might be one right there. Might be something missing. Is that Chris? Chris said when his happiest day is when he got rid of all his teeth. But apparently you had two.
Is that Laird?
It's
looks like Laird Scranton there.
I don't know why it doesn't say anything on these.
Yeah, it doesn't tell you what it is. It just says whatever, some caption.
All it says is things that should not exist. So, what's this?
That is allegedly one of the drills that they used at Cairo, where the pyramids are, to drill holes in the limestone.
Well, that looks pretty badass.
It's a red granite drill.
Go, girl, go.
Yeah, it was used in a vain, lame attempt by Zahi Hawass to explain precisionally cut drill holes there and at other places. But the experiment didn't work because although the granite with the existence of sand as an abrasive does bore into the limestone, it does not make a precision hole. In fact, the hole actually is wider at the top than it is at the bottom because of the way you have to drill it like this. The explanation didn't work. Zahi Hawass is a fool. I don't know why anyone ever gave him the keys to the kingdom, as it were.
The aluminum wedge.
Yeah, again, there's a lot of people, a lot of scholars call it a boat anchor. When it was examined by Giorgio and Eric, who just recently passed this last weekend, Eric von Däniken, that is, Eric called it a bulldozer tooth, like the kind of a tooth you would see at the end of a bucket on a bulldozer.
That's a good bit.
But here's another thing. It is made of aluminum, but it's not made of any kind of aluminum that we're able to make. It's strong.
We make, well, I don't know about what the tensile strength is, but we make pretty strong aluminum these days.
Well, we didn't, when this was discovered, we didn't have that technology then. But this thing is, I mean, it for all intents and purposes, it looks like the tooth of a bucket from a, backhoe or a bulldozer kind of bucket.
You can't rule it out, that's for sure.
It's what it looks like to me. and Eric Denikin as well, who, by the way, is Austrian German.
Yeah, it's sad to see him go, man.
Yep.
He's,
On the 10th, he passed.
Yeah, well, not everybody agreed with him, but not everybody disagreed with him. What the hell we got here? It looks like a giraffe at first.
Mm-hmm.
Artifact of a creature formed 7 million years ago. Okay, so that's a dinosaur.
Yeah, but I think it's an artistic impression of one done by a human. So how did they know what it looked like?
That's the question. How do you know what it looked like? I know.
Even if they had all the bones, how would they know what it looked like on the outside?
But I'm a little confused about one thing because aluminum doesn't rust. It's
no, but there is some sort of a patina on that object.
I guess there must be a little more mix in it or something else. Yeah, we see.
There's something to it. That's damn sure.
Damn, look at all.
There's a little weed pipe in there.
No, look at all the damn. They got a lot of
they were doing, smoking weed and making and napping spear points.
Nah, Jack, we're getting ready to get out of here. No, we were just cruising through these last couple. I think we've already gone through them.
Oh, look at that!
Just Shroud of Turin.
Shroud of Turin.
Yes, no, Jack, it's not Jesus. Don't even start on it.
Photograph of a dead man.
It's a photograph of an extraterrestrial that visited our planet.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? Why I said, if I remember everything right, and it's been a long time since I've debated this, and then we had what's his face that was on the show with me. That's what he was part of the team. Something about it didn't date correctly to be Jesus.
It dates to something around the 12th century. But the thing is what they tested was that in the 12th century, there was a fire where it was being held or kept. And part of it was singed. And the parts that were burned were replaced with 12th century fabric. And when they went to test it to see how old the fabric was, they didn't test the original fabric. They tested the patched fabric. And they came up with a 12,000 year anomaly.
From the way John,
I think if they were to test the fabric more towards the center rather than out at the edges, they might come up with a entirely different number. Maybe it coincides with Jesus, maybe it doesn't.
John said they tested it from like 9 different locations, and they weren't allowed.
There's been new recent ones too. I don't know the results of those.
They weren't allowed to test around the hair or the skin or any of that. They could test them right on the outside, but the reason they chose the edges in the beginning was because it doesn't show any damage. In other words, if you want to take something from the center, you'd have to cut it from behind. Yeah. And you're going to leave some kind of damage. So, and then they're scared the whole damn thing might unravel apart.
Well, there's also some alleged blood stains on the fabric that they also want to test, which would also incur cutting within the center of the fabric.
But I was listening to Andrew Reese the other day, and they were talking about all the new scanners. You don't need that now. You just put the freaking thing under the scanner and let it go.
Maybe they ought to try that.
So yeah, I don't think they want to try. I don't think they're not going to be happy with what the results are going to be.
Yeah.
Well, Jeffrey, first off, if this is Christ, he is way older than what the Bible tells us. I mean, this guy's in his 50s.
40s or 50s, yeah.
No.
We were speculating his age would be anyway when he died.
Yeah, you and I have been, but
well, because everyone suspects that he was born on the first year, and that he died in 33 A.D. Well, most scholars believe that he was born somewhere around 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 BC, which would put him at 43 or maybe even 53.
Yeah. So, Jesse, when you look at this picture, you can tell this would, in today's world, this would be a 60, 65-year-old man. Okay, because even a 50-year-old man don't look this rough today. So you have to take in there would have been some wear and tear on the guy because of where he lived.
Well, and the time frame. I mean, the bad nutrition, dirty water.
Well, he was the son of Christ, and he did have a lot of things going for him in dinners and stuff. So he might not have been as bad off as others. But if I had to say, if I had to put an age on this, I'd 45 to 50, 45 to 55. I'll be honest. I'd go somewhere in there. I wouldn't be surprised anywhere, which puts him 15 years older than what we were told, which means he could have definitely had children. So,
Well, even at the age of 33, he could have had children.
yeah, but no, because you have to be married.
You don't, but I mean, yeah, that
No,
was
if you want to be part of the Jewish thing, you have to be married. It's just the way it works.
we know that, but we also know that kids are kids, and kids will do things that they're not supposed to.
Yeah,
So,
but he didn't get since he didn't get thrown out, and they didn't like the guy. And
well,
didn't
he
get thrown out,
did have to
he-
evacuate Galilee for some 12 or 13 years, and we don't know the reasoning behind that. But the incident that occurred right before that was he was playing with a friend, pushed him off of a building and killed him. And then while everyone was, and he just did it to find out why, what it would be like to kill. And then everyone was like, why'd you do that? He brought him back to life in front of everybody. So then he left. And he leaves the Bible after that incident for 12 or 13 years.
Yeah, so this would be a guy, yeah. Probably got 4 or 5 kids running around.
If he left Galilee at the age of 12, at the turn of the century from BC to AD, he's 12 years old, 13 years old, and then 33. It's at least 45 years old.
Yeah, so no, he wouldn't have. No, John, he wouldn't just run around having children. He was just son of God. That's not going to work for anybody. He would have had to be celibate until he picked his old lady.
Yeah, I'm sure he's extremely fertile. Any girl he had sex with would immediately become pregnant.
So he probably had 3 or 4 kids, and that's it. Could be the Sinclair line. I wouldn't bet money on it though.
There's talk that it's more the Merovingian line is associated with the Jesus Christ blood.
Yeah. Well, you're going to prove that to the Sinclairs. They say they're direct descendants.
Yeah,
but the problem is, Ronnie, the problem is there could be more than one direct descendant. You have to remember. So they got married, they had children, they got married, they had children. Those names change as time goes along. So you don't know who really has the most of that family's blood today, because Mark would have married Lou would have married James would have married Bob would have married Carol would have married Dean, on and on and on and on. It went for 2,000 years.
And plus, we have no literature on if or how many children Jesus did have, if he had them. The only thing that we know for sure is that it's probable he had at least one called Sarah.
Yeah. Well, Jack, we're gonna have to find out on that. No, if all of the ancient ones, all the Templars and the Skull and Bones and all them say he had 4 children, 3 girls and 1 boy. And that the original children were immortal. Just the first children. The grandchildren were not, or anyone
They
after.
lived a long, long time, though.
Yeah. Well, they probably did. Who knows? None of us stood up and what are you saying? Oh, you're saying Donald Trump's one of the children. Well, you know what? Maybe you're right, because Jesus was pretty hated in his day. There was a lot of anti-Jesus people back in the day. So.
There's a lot of anti-Jesus people right now.
Yeah, they
just
are.
Look at Ethiopia.
So what he would be like the great another 50 great grandson. Who knows? He's trying to end stuff. We'll see where it goes. Yeah, we'll see. But that's Friday. We got to get out of here because we're past our time. But no, come on Friday show. We talk about all that kind of stuff on Friday all the time.
Oh yeah.
Actually, next week we'll get into more about how the extraterrestrials have affected us as a society, and is there any proof for it? Well, that's where we were going tonight. But the O parts is a good way to get you started to understand that there's weird shit going on the planet already. That there's 100 million years of weird stuff that can't be explained away by science.
2.8 billion years worth of weird stuff, if we're going to date it.
So it's all legit. All of this stuff's been proven to be real. So now that you have that, it helps you to really understand that, okay, somebody or something was here before us. And it helps us to grasp the concept that it could be an extraterrestrial, or it could be a mixture. There could have been a few extraterrestrials on our planet. Whoever invented Atlantis, created Atlantis, other great cities, but there might have not been. They might have been like the Olympians. There might have been only X amount of them that survived Mars or wherever they came from, Venus. There might not have been millions of them or thousands of them. Actually, we know there weren't millions of them because they would still exist today. So there must have only been a handful of them, and they died after time or left, one or the other.
Well, they didn't die. They created this society, if we're going to say that. But the fact is that um, there are more than one stories of a society here before us, whether it was humans or aliens, we don't know. The planet is 5 billion years old. Life has been on the planet for 300 or 400, 500 million years at least, maybe even a billion. And if you think about that over time, let's just say it takes 100 million years for a society to become spacefaring. There could be 4 or 5 species that developed on this planet that are out there now as intergalactic species on other planets. We don't know. We weren't around.
No, they could have just died off on this planet.
Or yeah.
From any damn thing. Look, if you ever watch that TV series, How Fast It Takes for a Civilization to Go Boo Boo, watch it. You'll be fast. How you'll be surprised how fast even our civilization could disappear in less than 10 million years.
No, it's less than that. After a million years,
it's less than that.
Well, after a million years, there'll be no trace of our society whatsoever, except for like all the nuclear explosions we blew up. That is in the atmosphere still. That would be detected, but no, there would be very little or no archaeological stuff found. And after 10 million years, the effects we had on the atmosphere would be gone. So there would be no trace of us after 10 million, none whatsoever,
except for Yucca Mountain.
Hmm.
Yucca Mountain's designed to be there forever. Oh, it won't be radioactive forever though. No, Queen. So, God, I forgot how long they said.
Well, if you're talking about the Cheyenne Mountain facility, yeah, that might exist 10 million years from now.
Yeah, but it'll still be there. Because if not, it'll have killed everything on the planet. So it's designed to never decay. Well, it's made out of clay. Yeah.
Well, it's inside of a mountain.
It's inside of a mountain, and all the plugs are made out of clay. Yeah, they dig they cut these clay pieces in there, and they set that stuff in there, and then they put layers. They put a couple of layers of clay underneath it, and a couple of layers of clay on top of it. They're plugs, but they're not anything that can cause the radiation any problems. And it's the way it's made, it's almost impossible for it to get out. So they can sit there for the 5, 6, 10, 15, 20, 30 million years they need to die out. We got some pretty nasty nuclear weapons, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them really, really long half-lives, way more than you want to even think about. But anyway, we got to go on that note. We're going to get out of here. I want everyone to stay tuned in for United Public Radio. Michelle Doris Del Roche is on now. She's over there whooping up on somebody's head. You know how she is, man. Everyone said Jesse. No, really, she's a smart ass. No, she'll probably be going live in about 4 minutes. Well, the way it works out is we usually all run 10 minutes past because we have breaks and promos and stuff like that. And I actually don't see her. Actually, that's weird. She's usually on by now. That is very strange. Anyway, on that note, guys and girls, we're going to get out of here. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to United Public Radio and UFO Undercover. If any groans, moans, bitches, and grites, please write to Michelle DeRoche. On that note, we will see y'all Friday night, and we can get into real trouble. Real trouble. Good night, guys. Nice to see you, Sherry. Nice seeing you, Heidi.
Yep, see you guys.